Alan, are we on?
Oh, I'm on. Are you on?
I'm on.
I think we're on.
Grind time!
Grind.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Grind Time Shop for the Together We Print podcast, episode 1.
Yeah.
Big thanks to anyone who checked out episode 0, the lost episode. But now we're going to kind of kick things off and just tell y'all a little bit about what we got going on, who we are, and kind of formulate an actual pattern for this podcast, you know? And I think in order to tell any great story, you kind of got to start from the beginning. So today we're just going to talk about kind of who we are and how we got started, what we decided to do, and how we've kind of made it there and what we got going on currently, you know? So if you haven't listened to the podcast before, my name is Chris, and this is my boy,
Alan King, that's me.
And we are Grind Time Clothing Concepts, us and our buddy Cody. And me and Alan met in high school when I was a freshman.
2005, you were a freshman?
No, I graduated in 07.
Oh, yeah. So
2003? Beginning of 2003?
I was supposed to graduate in 2004. So I was there in 2000, and you came in my junior year, I think.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So over 15 years now, which is crazy. Wild that I can even say something happened in my life 15 years ago, but that's besides the point. So we met in high school, drumline at band camp in the summer, you know, and Alan played in some bands that used to play at Murray Hill Theater. Big shout out to Murray Hill Theater. And over in Murray Hill, Edgewood area of Jacksonville, Florida, and I was a younger kid who had been to some shows at Murray Hill and played one with my very first band, but that was about it. And we met, connected during drumline, and just kind of became friends from there. And Alan was playing in a band 6-7 Decision.
Oh my God.
6-7 Decision.
Bring that up.
And he and our buddy Hammy and a couple other friends, man. But I came out and played some drums with them for a little while, and me and Alan connected, and that didn't last a super long time playing in that band together. But at the same time, we stayed close over the years, and you know, we grew up in Middleburg, Florida area. Went to Middleburg High School, so
Broncos,
go Broncos. But yeah, we went to high school together, and we were just, you know, kind of close friends until he graduated, and then we kind of stayed in the same circle of friends, so we connected pretty, you know, parties
throughout
and
the
saw
years,
each other
hanging
throughout
out.
the years, hanging out. Yeah, and then you know, always stayed familiar with each other, always knew what each other had going on, and went on to play in a bunch of different bands and everything else. But in, you know, March of 2019...
well, even before that, we were already playing in a band. We reconnected, and we were already playing in another band together now.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
As, you know, before this even started.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we started playing in a band called the Black Creek Bastards, I guess 2015, 2016?
No, yeah, 16, I think.
Yeah,
2016.
2016. And we started a band called the Black Creek Bastards, and we did that for a little while. And then after that, kind of finished up, we got with another group, started another band called Adversaries that we still currently play in.
Check us out.
Adversaries 904. But yeah, we were playing in bands, and you know, we had always talked about kind of starting some sort of business venture, and we were also pretty drawn to the idea of, you know, fashion. Like, that was something that me and Alan, we both really liked clothes. I'm obsessed with hats and shoes and
You guys have no idea how much he's obsessed with certain brands and shoes and hats in general. Like, I wish I could take and show you the amount of hats or shoes that this guy has. Like, he could literally wear a different pair of shoes every day of the month, and you wouldn't see him in the same pair again.
Yeah,
it's insane. His Yeezy collection is off the charts. Let me just go ahead and tell you that now. Like, this man loves him some Yeezys.
I do like some Yeezys. So, major shout out today to Crocs. I don't know if you can see the Crocs in there. I try not to really show them off, but they're there. If you're watching the video online. And, and my hat today by Draplin Design Company. Mr. Aaron James Draplin. But yeah, we were obsessed with fashion. We liked clothes. We liked things that looked good. And so we started kind of talking, and I had sat down with a few people and discussed the idea of starting like a clothing line or a printing shop of some sort. And I just didn't really land on any partners that seemed kind of into the same things I was into, and that I could connect well or had a very good personal relationship with. And so eventually me and Alan kind of sat down and started discussing the idea of starting a screen printing company. And we bought some cheap gear. It was bad.
We really didn't. We didn't have no idea as far as like equipment where we should have started. We just literally just started Googling stuff, and it was like, okay, this looks cool. This looks like it would work. We're gonna buy this, and this looks like it'll work. We're gonna use this. Like we didn't really dig too much in depth as far as like. We didn't know anything about Vastex or Riley Hopkins and Ryonet, nothing like that. We had no clue about any of these big companies and things. So like, when we first started, it was like, Amazon's our best friend. Yeah. We're going to find a whole bunch of cool screen print stuff on Amazon, and that's how we stumbled upon the Tech Tonga. And oh my God.
Tonga. So, and I mean, no offense to anybody who's got one in their shop. We see people all over the place that use them and make them work. And we were able to make our first set of equipment work. But it became very apparent very quickly that, if we were going to get into this seriously, we were going to actually need to get into it seriously.
Step it up a little bit.
So in May of 2019, we got together in a spot, a commercial location, found ourselves an office building, and, we borrowed a little bit of money, and we bought a Vastex V2000. Big shout outs to Mel Ray Industries for hooking us up with the Vastex V2000.
Amazing press.
Check it out. It is pricey, but it is well worth it. And like I said, we always just wanted to be able to print shirts. I mean, that was where this kind of really all started. Like, we like hats and shoes, but...
Well, being in bands, we print merch. We had to have merch printed for the bands that we were in, whether it be shirts or hoodies or whatnot. And it's just, we kind of got sick of that whole... There's a lot of people out there that don't realize that they're getting ripped off or they're getting a horrible quality of something, and we just kind of got to that point to where we were just like, I'm overpaying these prices. I'm over waiting too long to get something, deliveries take too long, communication's real bad. Whatever the problem was with doing stuff, it was just we finally kind of got fed up with it, and that's when we were like, you know what, let's just do it, and that's where it started.
We just kind of jumped off the deep end, like I said, in May 2019. We really kind of put the pedal to the metal and invested in some nice equipment, and then a few months later, right there at the end of 2019, we got some more stuff, bought out a local screen printing company that was liquidating out, and were able to get some stuff for a really good deal and kind of upgraded some other parts of our shop. And, and then in, the beginning of 2020, we brought in Cody.
Shout out to Cody.
Shout out to
Cody.
Cody.
What's up?
Cody's over there running the computer. He's the mastermind behind
the man
making
behind
our
the scenes.
voices sound beautiful and rich for you on this podcast. But we brought in Cody in the beginning of 2020, and that was a powerhouse move for us. Me and Alan, like I said, we didn't really have any idea what we were doing in the beginning. We were just going to eBay and Amazon and Googling answers to things, and we just weren't finding the right stuff. I think we were one trying to spend just a little bit of money and get into it. And it seemed like a lot to us at the time, but looking back on how much equipment we have invested now, what we spent to start this thing off was relatively nothing.
Compared to what we have into it now is just unreal.
Leaps and bounds difference.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we jumped off the deep end. We got Cody here. Cody was a key component to helping us kind of figure out adapting to some of the new social media strategies. And, he's a big mind behind getting these podcasts going and our product review videos on YouTube. By the way, if you haven't checked that out, head on over to YouTube, Grind Time FL. Check out the channel. We just put up a new video recently of some screen print transfers. Big shout outs again to our homies over at RyoNet for kind of encouraging the idea. But yeah, go check that out, YouTube. But he's a big mastermind of kind of helping pull together some of that. He also kind of runs a lot of like our pretty much all of our social media and our a lot of our design concepts. He's a killer graphic designer as well as a photographer, videographer, jack of all trades. So when we brought Cody in here, I was just getting into the graphic design thing and had very basic knowledge of kind of what we were doing, but I knew how to make it work and get it on a t-shirt. And, since Cody's come in, it's allowed me to kind of step out and expand into the graphic design space as well. And, we've got some really cool things that are coming out for Grind Time here in the next, few weeks that we're super stoked about. They look really good, and it kind of completed the team out here for us, and made us a 3-person kind of tripod.
Tripod for sure.
Tripod, and we're stronger as a tripod. We've done some really cool things this year, and the reason we did this, the reason we hopped into all this, Alan touched on it earlier, is just all three of us, whether playing in bands or starting clothing lines or, getting stuff printed for companies we worked for, our experiences sucked, man.
Horribly.
We had bad experiences a lot of times, and like Alan said, late on delivery or poor communication skills from the seller. A
lot of people were trying to really rip us off. I mean, we're a local band trying to print merch for ourselves, and they're asking like these astronomical prices, and there wasn't too many people really printing in town yet, and so it was really hard for us to come up with these numbers for these companies that were asking these prices from us. And it's like, we knew we were getting ripped off, but we really didn't have no other choice. So that was another big key thing was we're sick of paying these prices. We could do this ourselves for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and there is a lot of money invested, obviously, on the upfront to get to that point of getting it for cheaper. But it was one of those things where we just saw, I feel like, a spot where we could help our friends and help ourselves at the same time. Yeah, like we knew we were getting upcharged and ripped off a lot of times, and we knew it wasn't that difficult. It just took a little bit of money, buy a little bit of equipment, and figure it out, and you can do it yourself. And so, we wanted to be able to help out the Jacksonville community of local artists and bands and venues and companies, and just kind of contribute something to our city.
The local market. We wanted to get the local scene, it didn't matter what it was, to make sure everybody was taken care of. We wanted to help everybody as much as we possibly could. And we still do to this day. Anytime that somebody here locally, we try to give them the best deal that we possibly can. We don't want nobody feeling like they've ever gotten ripped off, because we know what that feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. And one other thing, one of the big reasons, other than it just kind of being a pain in the neck to deal with some of these local companies that we had, was, the quality of the actual work that was coming out of the shops.
Sure.
We were getting shirts that printed that, we would find a good deal, and then we'd get them printed, and then you'd put them through the washing machine 3 times, and then half your design was gone. And then, they hadn't cured it to the shirt properly, or we'd get stuff that, was white print, and it was just so defibbed and it just had rough texture and, raised spots
Faded,
everywhere, or
just
heavy ink
ugly.
deposits, or not heavy enough deposits in certain spots. And it kind of just turned into this thing where, we knew that we could spend the time and the attention to detail to make this better. And that's what we prided ourselves on in the beginning. I'm kind of a freak about, the print and how it looks and how it lays down, and why one print lays down like this and another print completely lays down different, or what the different types of ink are. It's kind of a thing that I nerd out on. And Alan, is very symmetrical as far as making sure that the shirt is exactly centered and it's where it needs to be. And, we have different mindsets that kind of blend with each other, and they bring in a very cool, a very exciting, and a very professional print out of our shop. And that was a big thing for us was, for the first 6 months that we really operated, it was all word of mouth. Like we only really operated to our friends and our family. And, we did some shirts, and I'm not going to say they all turned out fantastic, because they didn't.
I mean, we had our ups and downs for sure. I mean, we were starting off. We were learning,
Exactly. But we made sure to learn those things and kind of hone in our craft a little bit before we decided to kind of take it public and really push out to people that, like, hey, you got a business and you want some pro quality stuff. We got a business and we can offer it. Right. So I think, that's a key component into why we wanted to start a screen printing shop, and why Grind Time, kind of came to existence. And the way we did it, people will ask, how did you get things going? How did you get to the point that you're getting, so quickly? And it's one of those things where we just kind of sit back and, I think 2 big things happened. You got to save a little bit of money, and then you got to spend a whole lot of money. And, if you can do that, and then you can just stay proactive in it, invest a lot of sweat equity. Me and Alan didn't pull paychecks from here for a very long time, and there's still some weeks that we don't, especially amidst the situation we're in right now.
Even when we first started, though, we both still had full-time jobs, and still running a screen printing company full-time.
And we still work full-time jobs outside of the screen print shop. This is still kind of a part-time gig for us, but, it's something that's been growing, and it's something that we're trying to spend the time and put that sweat equity into, stuff like this podcast and the YouTube videos, and, just kind of reaching out to people and tagging people and showing love. And, it's one of those things where we have a massive amount of respect for the screen print community and the wealth and sharing of knowledge that the community embraces. And that's part of the reason, we named this channel Together We Print. Is because, we together as a screen printing community can really make some cool stuff happen, man. Like, how cool is it that somebody can come up with a design inside their mind and, hit up a graphic designer inside the industry, and that graphic designer can take it into Illustrator, and he can make that image come to life for them, and then he can send that file to a screen print shop like us or another graphic designer, and we can either expand upon that, or we can burn it into a screen, and then we can print it on a t-shirt, and somebody's small idea inside their mind all of a sudden becomes this tangible, real-life product that has a use, and that's a pretty cool thing. And, we like to think that print never really dies. Once you print something,
it's there forever, man.
It's there forever. Whether that print goes away or it lasts for the next 1,000 years, as soon as that's printed, it's put out there and somebody sees it and it lives in a memory forever. Print never dies, and together we print. And,
hashtag.
Hashtag Together We Print. But yeah, so that was how we kind of did it. And, a big part of what we're doing and a big part of what we got going on is definitely adapting to the market and the trends. We try to print stuff that we feel like people will like and that we feel like people will think looks good. And then we also, you know, try to keep up with, you know, what t-shirt brands are super hot right now, and what's everybody want to get printed on as far as like a premium garment goes. You know, what is the streetwear fashions that are doing really well right now? We got one coming out here soon that's just like a total mashup of two legendary fashion companies, and we're just totally just wow. You know what I'm saying? Grind time. So, you know, like I said, thank y'all for coming and checking out the channel. Thank y'all for supporting all the work that we have going on in this. Sure. You know, we're in an interesting time in the world, and we're just trying to offer a little bit of something to listen to for a minute, take your mind away from everything else you got going on, you know. And like I said, this is a story. So in order to give y'all the story, we figured, you know, you had to have it from the very beginning. But in this podcast, we're just going to kind of talk about what's going on, well, you know, what we think.
Different hot topics, you know, things here in the shop. You know, we might do an episode as far as, you know, burn times. We might do an episode as far as mesh, you know, numbers. I mean, there's going to be all kind of different topics that we're going to talk about. And if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about and discuss, please hit us up, let us know, leave a comment, talk to us, email us. It doesn't matter. Let us know, and we will try to talk about it and make that happen for you guys.
Absolutely. And I'll probably be talking all the time about like new music releases and like when a donut that I really like is going to come out, you know, stuff like that. I'll make sure that I mention things like that, like food. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like food?
If you come to Jacksonville, visit blah, blah, blah.
You know, definitely. Beach Road chicken dinners, you know, that's just one. Goodness gracious. But, yeah, thank y'all very much for coming and checking it out. We hope y'all have a wonderful day. As always, like, subscribe, share the podcast so you can keep up to date when we put out new content. We appreciate y'all very much. And from the Grind Time Shop, this is Together We Print Episode 1. Signing out, y'all.
Have a good one.
Peace.